Okay, so there are a number of things that you can do with Google Forms, but the one we're going to look at today is how we can build a student information sheet here. And just so you have an idea, I'm going to show you the student information sheet. But I've done a lot of things, like if I wanted students to give me their seat preferences, front of the room, back of the room, whatever, I can ask questions about that and have that available. I've done certain breakouts, I've done certain review activities, I have a syllabus form, feedback for my course. So there's a lot of things you can do with Google Forms. I think the easiest way to kind of break into it, though, is to do a student information sheet. So I'm just going to show you the one that I created, and then I'll show you how to build some questions off of that. So it's up to you, obviously, what kind of questions that you want to ask. Obviously, you want to start with the name. I always put period, the best email to reach them at. I'm a cat fan, so I always ask them if they're interested in that. The sports and activities they're involved with, what kind of television, movies, whatever. So there's a lot of different questions you can ask, and that component is obviously completely up to you. And then once the students actually give their responses, you'll send out the link, which I'll show you, and they're going to give your responses, and you can give that and get those results in either a summary, okay, you can get that in either a summary type form, you'll get different pie charts, you can get the sports and activities that are involved, and you'll get a list like that. But you can also go ahead, what I like to do, especially if we're searching for somebody in particular, you can look at it individual. And I'm not going to scroll down, but it shows you each individual form rolled out. If you really wanted to print it, the printing is available there as well. So let's start from scratch, though, and if you just wanted to start doing a form. So you're going to go into your Google Forms. You're going to start a blank document. Now you can mess with the color and everything if you'd like, but we're just going to stick with the basic here. So where it says Untitled Form, I'm going to call this Student Information. You can call it obviously whatever you'd like. And if you just click up here, that'll populate with whatever you call it right here. You can describe your form as whatever you'd like. I don't really put a lot of information there generally. But let's say we want to start our first question, okay? So it'll always have one question there, and you can choose the type of question that you want. If you'd like a short answer, if you want them to give you a paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes. So rather than like I had where I just put period number, you could actually list all the periods numbers and they could just check it there. There's also a drop down menu, so you have a lot of options here for sure. But so this is our first question. Let's say I want it to be a short answer. One first question would generally be, what's your name? So you just write name. And I always like to make this question required because you want to make sure that's the one that you definitely want to know. If they give you all this information, you want to make sure their name is there. So I'm going to make that required. And that's really all you need to do for making a question. Let's say I want to make a second question. Let's say I wanted to make a multiple choice question, maybe. Let's say period. I'll make my option 1. Let's say I want to make that 1. That's my first option, right? And then I'm going to scroll down. It says add option or add other. So I'm going to add my option there. I'm going to click 2. And you can keep going down with as many questions as you would like. There's no need to save. As soon as you type something in, it automatically saves for you. So then, as you can see, you can just keep kind of building the questions that you would like. So that's that, and then once your students start giving you responses, you'll have all your responses here. When you do want to get your link to share with your students, or you can also embed it in Schoology if you'd like, you're going to go to send. Now you can either email people. I would not recommend individually emailing all your students, but if you go right here, you can get your link, and then you can just copy and paste that into your Schoology page, into your web page, whatever you are using, and you can share that with the students so that they can start filling out that form for you. So I think that's about it for Google Forms. There's a lot of information out there, even if you search on YouTube if you have more questions about more complex things, or obviously contact one of us at the page. Thanks.